Welcome to Connected and Respected.
Welcome to Connected and Respected. Today, our lesson is about fairness and discrimination. So we're going to be talking about people that have worked for fairness and against discrimination. And we're going to talk about what we would do if we were in charge to make the world a better place. Okay? So we're having this lesson today because today is Martin Luther King Day. Raise your hand if you know something about Martin Luther King. Yes, Libby?
Since black people and white people were separated, now and Martin Luther King Jr. put them together.
What is one thing you know about Dr. Martin Luther King?
He said, I have a dream and I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
He said, I had one dream about black people and white people together.
Mm-hmm. So Dr. King cared about all kinds of different people. So he cared about black people and white people and poor people and rich people and Latino people and Asian people. And he really was trying to teach everybody how to love one another and create the kind of society, the beloved community, where people really cared about one another and the rules of our society and the way we treated each other was kind. And we have this video to watch about what people did during the civil rights movement to make the world a better place. I'm going to pull it up so we can all see it. Okay? Here we go.
Carol Boston Weatherford, paintings by Jerome Lagarde. Just about every week, Mama and I went shopping downtown. I loved having her all to myself for the afternoon. Whenever it was hot or we got tired, we'd head over to the snack bar in the 5 and dime store. We'd stand as we sipped our Cokes because we weren't allowed to sit at the lunch counter. Once I watched a girl swivel a stool as she spooned a banana split. In the empty seat beside her was a purse almost exactly like mine. Can I have a banana split? I begged Mama. No, not here, Connie, said Mama. I'll fix you one at home. Won't be the same, I grumbled. All over town, signs told Mama and me where we could and couldn't go. Signs on water fountains, swimming pools, movie theaters, even bathrooms. Everybody I knew obeyed the signs, except my great Aunt Gertie from New York. Once when she visited us, she drank from a whites-only fountain and said real loud, I've never heard of colored water. Have you, Connie? Then she lifted me up so I could take a sip. I looked up from the fountain. Y'all know better than that, a man scolded. I started to say, sorry, mister, but Aunt Gertie just huffed. I'm too old for silly rules. It was a real hot day, but the man walked away without taking a drink. There weren't any signs up in the 5 and dime, but we still knew how it was. Most people didn't expect change anytime soon, but Daddy thought different. Dr. King's come to town, he told us one morning. Who's sick? I asked. He's not that kind of doctor, Connie, Daddy laughed. He's a minister who's working to make things better for us, said Daddy. So we can go anywhere we please, said Mama. Like the lunch counter, I asked. Yup, said Daddy, and other places too. Later that week, our whole family went to hear Dr. King preach at the college chapel. I didn't really understand all of his speech, but I liked his booming voice. It sounded as if he believed God was on our side. Every few minutes, Mama said, Amen. And when Dr. King sat down, everyone stood and clapped for a long time. Soon after that, my brother and sister joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Everyone called it the NAACP. They let me tag along as they went door to door helping people to sign up to vote. I've never voted in my life, said a white-haired lady leaning on a cane. Will I get to vote for the president? Yes, ma'am, I said. My brother wants to be president when he's all grown up. Tell him he's got my vote, she chuckled, and to hold on to those big dreams, she said, handing me her voter registration form. Yes, ma'am, I'll tell him, I promised, thinking about my own dreams too. Times are changing, she said, waving as I left. Then one day, Mama and I went shopping downtown. We stopped at the snack bar just like always. I tugged at Mama's sleeve. Look over at the lunch counter. We know those boys. There sat four brothers, friends from A&T College. Do they know they're in the wrong place? I whispered. Some rules have to be broken, Mama whispered back. I heard one of them order coffee and a donut, please. I'm sorry, we can't serve you kind, said the blonde-haired waitress, wringing her hands. The boys didn't budge. Don't y'all understand English? A kitchen worker asked. Go on over to the snack bar, she hissed. Stop making trouble here. The manager tapped her foot and jutted out his chin. They can sit there forever for all I care, he said, storming out of the store. An old white lady came up to the boys. I'm so proud of you, she said clear as a bell so everyone could hear. I wish someone had done this sooner. The waitress kept wiping and re-wiping the counter and refilling salt and pepper shakers, sugar pours, and napkin holders. Suddenly the manager came back with a tall policeman. Let's go, Connie, said Mama. The manager shooed us right out of the store and then put a close sign in the window. I couldn't wait to tell Brother. Why'd your friends do that? I asked. If we can spend money at a store, said Brother, it's only fair that we should be able to eat at the store's lunch counter. I guess so, I said, thinking it'll work. Sometimes it's important just to try, said Daddy, rubbing his chin. The next day, Daddy showed me the newspaper. The headline said, Negro students stand up by sitting down. They sat 4 hours, said Daddy, peering over the newspaper. I'd be too hungry to wait that long, I said. Connie, they didn't really want food, said Daddy. They wanted to be allowed to get it. Same as if they were white, to be treated fairly. By Friday, we heard on the news how hundreds more had joined the sit-ins. The protests are growing, I told Daddy. I'm joining the sit-ins, Brother said, bursting into the room. And I'm going to picket downtown, said Sister, tomorrow. I want to go too, I said. I'm plenty big enough to hold a sign, and I know I can sit. It's good that you want to help, said Daddy, but Connie, you're still too young for these things. I never get to do anything important, I pouted. You can help us make picket signs, said Sister. That's very important. The next morning I handed Sister my little flag for her to carry. We'll tell you everything when we get home, Brother promised. Turns out I saw the protest on TV. Hundreds of people walked up and down the sidewalks in front of stores, restaurants, and movie theaters. I saw my own sister carrying a picket sign, and there was the back of Brother's head at the lunch counter. My own brother. I'm just so proud of them, said Daddy. Me too, I said. I just pray there's no trouble, Mama fretted. After a while, I watched the news on the TV, almost as much as Mama and Daddy. One night I saw a report on the sit-ins. That doesn't look like downtown, I said. Connie, the sit-ins have spread all over the South, said Daddy. Just then the phone rang. I answered it. Daddy, it's Sister. She got arrested at the lunch counter. She's in jail. Sister, who's always got A's in school, who hardly even got in trouble, who was what Mama called mule stubborn. Daddy raced to the police station, but Sister wouldn't let him get her out of jail. He told me how the students kept chanting, jail, not bail, jail, not bail. We can't just leave Sister here with the bad guys, I pleaded. She's made up her mind, Connie, said Mama, wiping a tear. She wants to stay with the other students. In a few days, Sister came home. Promise me you'll stop picketing, I begged. I can't do that, she said, hugging me tight. Now, instead of shopping downtown, we had to order from the Sears catalog. Mama and I leafed through the big, thick catalog together, and she even let me help pick things out. But we both knew it wasn't the same. How long before the sit-ins are over, Mama? I asked. Till folks get what they want, said Mama. That summer, Mama, Daddy, and I finally went downtown. When we passed Woolworths, I heard someone shout, they're serving them. Daddy stopped so fast that the brakes screeched and Mama and I jolted forward. We parked and ran to the lunch counter. There sat the women who worked in the restaurant's kitchen. They were all dressed up fancy and eating egg salad. I can't even stand the smell of egg salad, but I stood and watched them eat every bite. Looks pretty good, I said. Daddy and I shared big grins. Next day, Brother, Sister, and I made a special trip downtown. Brother wore a suit and tie. We girls wore hats and white gloves. At the lunch counter, I climbed up on a stool next to them. We'll have 3 hot dogs, 3 french fries, 2 coffees, 1 Coke, and 1 banana split, please, I told that blonde-haired waitress. Sister and Brother sipped coffee, and I twisted on my stool while we waited for our meals. Our food soon arrived. As I ate, waitress plopped an extra cherry on a mound of whipped cream. She still looked nervous, but she smiled at me. It was the best banana split I ever had.
Yeah, that's the author's note. So this is a story that we got from the King Center. So the King Center is still carrying on this work and creates lessons like the one we're doing today about how to make the world a better place. We're going to do the rest of our lesson about with connected and respected. But first, ooh, do you need to blow your nose? So what's one thing you remember from the story we just watched? Yes, Libby?
That black people didn't get to sit at the lunch table.
Mm-hmm. What's one thing you remember from the story?
I remember that if you sat at the lunch table too long,
Mm-hmm.
the police would come.
How do you think the little girl felt when she saw other children able to eat banana splits at the counter, but she couldn't?
Sad.
How do you feel her mama felt when her sister got arrested? Sad. Maybe a little scared? Yeah. How did they say in the story the waitress felt about when people started sitting at the counters and it was a new thing? How did the waitress feel at first? Nervous. And do you remember the old white woman, the elderly lady who came up and said, I wish they had started this a long time ago? How did she say she felt? Proud. So there were all kinds of different people in the story, and there was the manager too. How did he feel?
Mad.
Mm-hmm. So there were all kinds of different people with different feelings in that story, huh? Yeah. So one thing they talked about was it wasn't fair.
You take my mic next time, can you not? I don't like it when you put your feet on my chair. Next time, can you not? And I don't like it when you kick your feet. Next time, can you not?
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Does that work for you? That's what we're talking about today. Finding a solution that works for the needs of every person. Okay, do y'all remember this story?
Yeah. Green eggs and ham. Some things happened in it.
Yeah.
I can read it.
Well, we won't have time to do our whole lesson and read the whole book, but I wanted to bring this book up because it has an important lesson about this big word called prejudice. Can you say prejudice?
Prejudice.
Okay, so do you remember how did Sam I Am feel about green eggs and ham at the beginning of the book? For most of the book, actually.
Happy.
Huh? Did he like
Excited.
green eggs and ham? Did he want to, he was like, did he say he wanted to eat them?
No, that made Sam sad.
Yeah. So he said, I do not like them. I don't like green eggs and ham at all, right? But had he tried them?
Yeah. Sam was just giving him to try new food.
What happened at the end?
He tried it.
And what happened when he tried it?
He liked it, like I did when I first tried them. But we added mashed potatoes.
Here we go. So, prejudice is when you decide not to like something or someone before you even try to get to know them because of a group that they're part of. Okay? So say instead of it was green eggs and ham, it was a green person who was a new person in your class. How would you relate to that person?
A green person?
Yeah, just think. It was a different person. Different than anything, just like it was different than what he had ever eaten
I would
before.
show them around.
You would show them around?
I would give them a present and show them around.
There you go. Because that's getting to know someone before we decide what they're like. Huh. Yeah. about how that applies to other things. Should we do musical instruments or food first? What do you think, guys?
Food.
Food? Okay.
Healthy food.
Healthy food tastes so good. Okay, so here is all kinds of food. Can you turn so everybody can see? All right. So there's cauliflower. All right. And so let's see if you can say, this is some cauliflower we grew in our garden. It has some purple in it. Okay. So tell us if you think purple cauliflower, if you really like it. Show a thumbs up if you like it, sideways if you're not sure, and down if you don't like it. And you can do that alone at home, okay? So, okay, Marcus, you said you like it. Yeah?
I love cauliflower with cheese.
Uh-huh. So because you've had other cauliflower, you think you're going to like this one with the purple in it? What about you?
Because I had a purple one before.
Huh? You're maybe? Okay. Have you ever had purple cauliflower before? No. Okay. So that's why we talk about trying something first before we decide if we like it or not. Huh? What about potatoes? Yeah? Show us with your thumb. Is there anyone here who hasn't had potatoes? Oh, so you both had potatoes, and you tried them, and you liked them. So first you tried them, and then you found out that you liked them.
I like them mashed potatoes.
What about dried mango? Yeah? What do you think? Yes? No? Maybe?
I tried them before. I didn't.
Oh, okay. And have you tried them? So they tried it first, and they figured out that they liked it. Okay. What about sweet potatoes? Have you tried sweet potatoes? Have you tried sweet potatoes?
I don't like them. I tried them fried.
Okay. Okay, can you turn your knees to Millie? Okay, let's do two more. What about carrots? Have you tried carrots before? Yeah. Have you tried them? You haven't tried them. So that's why Livy put sideways, because she hasn't tried them yet. She doesn't know. Huh. Yeah. Have you tried them? Yeah?
I love them with
And-
ranch.
Oh.
We forgot this guy.
Yeah. Well, we only have so much time. There's so many different kinds of different people in the world and kinds of food in the world, huh? That's kind of what our lesson's about today. What about this? Do you know what this is?
Squash. It's a kind of squash. I never tried
Bless you.
that kind of squash.
You never tried it. So
that's why I'm doing this.
oh, so he never tried this kind of squash. So he's like, instead of being prejudiced and saying, I don't like this squash without ever trying it, he's going to say that he's going to try it. Okay? So that's just like if there was someone new in our
I
class
love orange.
that we had never met and they came in with pink hair. Would you decide that you didn't like them just because they had pink hair, or would you try to get to know them first?
Try to get to know them.
Yeah. Yeah. We can do that with instruments too.
Oh yeah, I like
And with
orange. I like
do
orange.
you think that you would be good at playing this instrument? Yeah? Do you think you would be good at this instrument? Huh? No? Have you tried yet? Can you stop for a second? Okay. So Marcus has tried it and he thinks he'll be good at it. Can you try this one? I'll show you how to do it.
It kind of hurts my hand and my leg.
Oh, so she tried it and she decided that it
Do you
might
like
not work out for her because it hurts the metal when you hit it. It hurts. Let's do one more. Okay. So here is a special drum that we got for Christmas from Afghanistan. Okay? And this is how you play it, right? I have to carry it that way because it's heavy for me. So Do you think the first time I played it, I was good at it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to hold it, and it's heavy, and I'm still learning, right?
Can I start?
So can I decide the first time I try to play the drum that I'm not good at it? Huh? What do you think? Would you have to try a couple times? She's like, it's almost as big as me. Yeah. So that's what the difference is between prejudice and trying, okay? When we're trying, we're getting to know something for itself and trying it out. And prejudice is deciding ahead of time that we don't like a thing or a person, okay? In the story that we saw with the sit-ins, was there prejudice happening in that story?
Yeah.
What was the prejudice in that story?
Black people didn't get to sit at the lunch counter.
Yeah, African American people didn't get to sit at the lunch counter because the other people that owned the store were prejudiced against them. That's what that word means. So, was that fair?
No.
Was it fair? No. Okay. Let's think of another situation. Let me see. If I was going to take everybody in a school to a special field trip to see the manatees in Lake Pontchartrain, would it be fair or not sure or not fair if I said, this trip is for girls only?
Not fair.
That would be not
Then
fair?
I can't go.
Oh, so girls only is not fair? Okay, what if I said, I'm going to make this really yummy food, but I'm going to put it on the top shelf? Would that be where only the tall people can reach it? Would that be fair, not sure, or not fair?
Not fair. I can't reach it.
Oh, okay, so girls only and tall only is not fair. Can you think of other things in the world that would not be not fair? Yes, Marcus?
If I said, Olivia can never play with me ever again.
Oh, excluding people. Excluding people. So not letting people in, not welcoming people. That's not fair. Huh. What was your idea, Libby?
You can't play with my favorite toy.
Ooh, not sharing. That's not fair too, huh? Can you think of some more?
Olivia can't be on my team even if he wants to. She has to be on the other team.
Oh, so that's kind of like excluding, huh? Yeah. Can you think of some more? Yeah.
You can't ride my horse. Never, ever.
So not giving people access to things that they want, say keeping people away from getting to something they want or need.
You're tiny. You can't play.
So teasing people because of their body or treating people different because of how their body is.
Martin Luther King helped with the color.
Mm-hmm. So treating people different because of their bodies. Yeah.
You guys can't join me. Only people who are like me can join.
Oh, only liking the people that are like you and not liking people from other cultures or other neighborhoods or other cities or other countries. Okay. I think y'all thought of a lot of different ideas. Can you give yourself a pat on the back?
Only me and Olivia can play this game because we're the same color. And other people who are the same color as us.
So that wouldn't be fair, huh? So
Not
colorism.
fair.
Mm-hmm. So those are all examples of things that are not fair in our world. So what we're going to do now is think about things we could do to make the world a better place. Yeah, to make the world a better place and make things fair. So we're going to invite you to do that at home too. We're going to take some paper and some markers and take some time to think and draw about what we would do if we were in charge to make things fair. Let's think about the story we watched and the things, the people, everybody in that story had, in that family, had a different job that they were doing to try to make things more fair. So even the kids did something to try to make things fair. So take a moment and think about what you might want to do to make the world more fair. Okay? So we're all going to take some time to think about it.
I know another paper.
All right, we're almost done, okay? Let's see, Libby's almost done. I'm done. Just take one more moment to finish up.
I drew an X on that page and I checked.
Are you almost done, Libby?
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait to say it.
All right. Libby, 3.
Almost done.
Okay. 2, 1. All right. Here we go. I'll share first as an example for how to share. I'm going to hold my picture up so that everyone can see and then tell you about what I drew, okay? So the problem of unfairness that I was thinking about when I drew my picture was about all the different people all over the world that do different jobs, right? There's people that are our teachers at school. There's people who cook the food that we eat at restaurants. There's the cashiers at the grocery store. There's the doctors we go to when we're sick. There's the people who grow our food and harvest it. There's the people who drive and ship things that we need, right? There's all kinds of people that work really hard in the world. There's people who pick up trash, right? All these people work really hard. Do they all get paid enough to make a living, to pay for the food they need to eat and the houses they need to live in?
Not the
No.
trash man.
That's not fair, huh? Yeah, and then there's people from other countries that get paid less to doing the same work as us too, because there's not fair trade. So what I said I would do was make it so that everybody got paid for the work they do, because there's so many people that work really hard, and it should be fair. They should make enough to make a living. Who would like to share? Okay, Marcus, I saw your hand first, and then Libby, okay? Can you hold it up so, I'll hold it up so everyone can see.
This is an X because that's the wrong thing. because they're arguing and not finding a solution. On this one, they're finding a solution. That's why there's a check, because they're saying what things that they want to add to each other's ideas.
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about before. When we do conflict resolution, first we do our calming skills, and then we talk about it, right? We say, I felt sad when you did such and such, right? Next time could you do such and such, right? And then we say, does that solution work for you? Does that solution work for you? Because it's a solution that works for the needs of everybody. That's how we know it's fair, huh? Thanks, Marcus. Libby, can I hold yours up and you can tell us about it?
Those ones are when people let other people not play with each other. That's when I come in and I tell them to take their breath.
Thanks, y'all. This is really exciting. I just did this lesson for students at my school, and they had so many really neat ideas. Like there was one little boy, can you turn and keep your body still? Thank you. So there was one little boy who said, he was in kindergarten, and he said, if I was in charge, I would give my toys away to anybody who didn't have toys so that everybody would have fairness and access to toys. And then another little girl said, if people were fighting over toys and someone said the toys were for boys only, I would help them remember how each other felt and make sure that everybody could have access to the toys. And another little boy said, he was like, what I would do to make the world a better place and more fair is to stop people, oh bless you, from putting trash in the ocean, because that's not fair to the animals that live in the ocean. And some other people talked about all the different types of people who come from all over the places in the world and how we all look different and how we can all treat each other kinder. So that students in my class had all kinds of different ideas about what to do to make sure everyone had access. Oh, and another student said that they would make it so that all the students, all the kids that wanted to go on field trips could go, and it didn't matter whether they had money to pay for the field trip or not. Wasn't that really kind? It just goes to show how much kids know about how to make the world a better place. Huh? Yeah. So today we learned all kinds of things. I'm going to read from our lesson to make sure I don't forget about fairness and being kind, right? And let's think for a moment. Is life always fair? Do you think things are always going to feel fair? No. How do people feel when they're treated unfairly? What is it like for them? Yeah? It feels sad for them? Yeah. How do people feel when they have a time where they are treated fairly and when they're included?
Happy!
Yeah. So that's why it's important for us to think about trying before we decide about someone, right? Before we make our prejudice about someone, we try and we give them a chance. And we make sure that everyone has access to things that they need so that they can, no matter what they look like or what their body's like or who they're friends with or how much money they have or if they're a girl or a boy, all these things, that they can have the things they need to be happy and fulfilled in life, right? So that's about including people. So can you do this including motion? Including. Including means that we welcome people in instead of pushing them away. And you know what? When we do that, it feels like a big hug. Can you end our lesson by giving yourself a big hug? And while you're hugging, you can say, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thanks, guys. Great job. I'm so proud of you.